Jai to students, I am from Ajay Kumar Gain College, Ghaziabad, Dr. Shashank Sahu. In this video, I am going to discuss about JSP error handling, session management, JSP custom tag, which is of subject KCS 602. First of all, error handling in JSP. Now to handle the error in JSP, we need a error handler page. For example, in this JSP page, we are going to generate an exception of divide by 0, that is 3 by 0. This instruction will generate an exception of divide by 0. When this exception will occur, it will move to a error handling page. Name of the error handling page is someerrorpage.jsp. Now, to specify error handling page, we will use the page directory attribute error page. So, in the error page, we define the error handling JSP page. So, whenever error will occur in this current page, or you can say exception will occur, it will move to the error handler page, that is someerrorpage.jsp. This is the coding of someerrorpage.jsp. So, we have given a message, there is an error in the page. So, we have two pages to handle the error, or you can say exception handling in JSP. The first page will generate the exception, here for example divide by 0. When this exception will occur, it will move to the second page. Name of the second page is someerrorpage.jsp, which is defined with the help of attribute error page. In the second page, you can specify any message like there is an error in the page. Now, handling the exception with the help of exception object. To access the exception object, use isErrorPage attribute. So, here in this, we are not using the exception object. SomeErrorPage is a error handler. Now, to access this exception object, we need to use isErrorPage attribute should be true. If it is true, then we can use only the exception object in this error handling page. So, two JSP page is error page and exception object can be used. If it is false, JSP page is not an error page, exception object cannot be used. Now, this is the example of using the isErrorPage attribute. So, here we are using isErrorPage equal to attribute. Because this attribute is true, then only we can use this exception object. So, we are using less than percentage equal to sign exception object get message. So, it will display the message which is caught by the some exception which are raised. In earlier example, there is a exception was divide by 0. So, it will display the divide by 0 message. You can also display the stack trace. To display the stack trace, first of all, you have to create a writer object, or you can say an out object by which we will display the stack trace. So, we have the print writer here. With the help of print writer, we are using wrapping of the out implicit object and writer object is created. Then we are using exception print stack trace. In the print stack trace, we are passing this writer object. So, stack trace will be displayed at the client web browser. So, with the help of this isErrorPage, we can use exception object to display the message, as well as we can display the stack trace also for diagnostic. Next, I am going to discuss about Next, I am going to discuss about session management in JSP. So, to understand the session management, first of all, we have created a HTML page. Name is getName.html. GetName.html, and we have a text box. So, we are passing the value in this text box. We have given a name. When we click on the submit button, so it will call a JSP page save name.jsp. So, the target of this file is save name.jsp and it is the coding of save name.jsp. So, whatever the value is given in the text box, next part is we have to receive the value. So, we can receive the value with the help of request object, and we are using the method get parameter, and we are using the name of the text box is username. This name is already mentioned here. You can see this name is already mentioned here. With the help of this name, username, we are accessing the value of this text box, and the value of text box will be stored in the attribute variable name. Then we are using session set attribute. With the help of set attribute, we are storing the value that we receive from the text box in a session so that it can be available in the next page, and the variable name is the name. So whenever we are storing a value in a session, it consists of a value. Value is already stored in the name variable, and there is an internal variable name is the name by which we will access this value, the name value. Then the value is stored in the session that we taken from the text box. Next job is to move to the second JSP page and receive the value. So we are using a hyperlink, and we are click on the next page.jsp. When we click on the continue, it will move to the next page.jsp. So save name.jsp saves the user's name in the session and puts a link to another page, that is next page.jsp. Then the next page.jsp, we show how to retrieve the saved name. So the name is already retrieved with the variable the name, and we are using the value of the name. The value will be retrieved and it will be displayed. So you can say in the session management, first of all, we are taking the value from the text box, that is username, with the help of request.getParameter. Then we are storing this value, which is already stored in a variable name in a session, and with the name is the name. Then we are moving to the next page.jsp, continue, click on the continue, then it will move to the next page.jsp. When move to the next page.jsp, we can retrieve the value with the value is the name, and the value will be displayed to you. So with the help of this session management, this session object is already available, implicit object is already available. We can take the value from HTML, store in a session, and move the value into another page, and we can retrieve the value. Next, we are using Java Bean and form processing. So it is a HTML page. In the HTML page, we have some text boxes. There are 3 text boxes: text, username, email, and age. So we are receiving the value from the user, and when we click on the submit button, it will go to the save name.jsp. This is the bean in which we will store the value that will be taken from the user with the help of HTML page. Bean is basically a Java class. So it is stored in a package user, and name of the bean is user data, and 3 corresponding value is defined according to the HTML tag, HTML text boxes. We have a username, email, and age, and then we are using as in Java Bean, every variable must have a setter and getter method. So for the username, we have the set username, and we have set email and set age, and we are setting the value that we receive from the text boxes into the bean variable. When we want to access the value from the bean, we are using get username, get email, and get age. That is, we are getting the value from the username, email, and age that is already stored in the bean. Now save name.jsp is used to bean collect the data. Now we are using the JSP to access the value which is already stored in the text bean. So we will use JSP action is use bean. In the use bean, we are using the class user is the name of the package, user data is the name of the bean. Then we are creating an instance of this bean. Instance of this bean is user. Now we are making scope as a session. This is important. When the scope equal to session, then only this user instance, user object which is already created will be available to the next page. So first of all, we take the value from the text boxes, then pass this value to the next page to retrieve the value. So we have JSP set property is a JSP action, and name is, or you can say it is a user instance. We are using property here star. Star meaning is that the name of the text boxes and name of the bean should be same. It will automatically take the value from the text boxes and it will store the value in the respective Java Bean variables. So putting the star, it is a mandatory condition. The name of the text box and name of the variables which are used in the Java Bean should be same. So just putting the star, the value from the text box will be taken automatically and will be stored in the Java Bean variables. Then we click on the continue. When we click on the continue, these variables should be available in the next page.jsp page also. So because we are using scope equal to session. So when we click on the continue, it will move to the next page.jsp. So in the next page.jsp, this is the same explanation that I discussed here. UseBean tag will look for an instance of user.userData in the session. If the instance is already there, it will update the old instance. Otherwise, it will create a new instance of user.userData and put in the session. Set property tag will automatically collect the input data, match names against the bean method names and paste the data in the bean. Now next page.jsp to retrieve the data from the bean. So we are using the same instance here because this instance is of session already defined in the previous page. It is available. So our job is to retrieve the value. No need to store the value. The value is already stored in the previous page. Next part is to retrieve the value. To retrieve the value, we are using user. This instance is already created and we are using get username to get the username. We are using get email to get the email and we are using get age to get the age of the data which is already entered by the user. So you can see with the help of scope equal to session, we can pass the object of a bean from one page to the other page and retrieve the value from the value of the bean in the second page. So notice the same useBean tag is repeated. The bean is available as the variable name, user of class, user.userData. Data entered by user is all collected in the bean. Next I am going to discuss about JSP custom tag. JSP custom tag is user defined JSP language. A tag handler is used to perform the task. This is the tag handler. To write a custom tag, you need to use extend simple tag support. This is the class and override do tag method. Now custom tag that we are going to discuss. Custom tag meaning is there are many HTML tags are available and you want to make your own tag. Then we have to use the custom tag library. Now hello is going to define a tag. We are going to define the tag. Then what is the procedure that I am going to discuss here. Now step for creating the custom tag is step 1. Create a Java class that act as a tag handler. For example, hello tag class is given below. So here again I am going to discuss, suppose this is the tag you are going to create and then you have to create a tag handler. So the tag handler basically is a Java class and this is the tag handler. Name of the tag handler is hello tag. You can define any name here, accordingly you have to map it. Now this tag handler must be extend the simple tag support class. This simple tag support class is predefined. So the name of the tag handler is hello tag. Then within the tag handler, that is hello tag, you have to implement the do tag method. So in the do tag method, we are going to create an out object. Out object is of get JSP context.get out object. This out object is responsible to display the value according to the tag. So in the out object, we are going to display hello AKGC students. You can see when we use this tag in our program, so it will call this tag handler. When it will call this tag handler, it will display the message hello AKGC students. So we can say that whenever we are using this hello tag, it is corresponding to a message hello AKGC students. So when we use this tag, the message hello AKGC students will be displayed. Now do tag method takes the current JSP context object using the get JSP context method and uses it to send hello AKGC student to current JSP writer object. So we will compile this program. Next step 2, create the following tag library. So I discuss first step is to create the tag handler. It is created. The second step is to create a TLD file. So TLD file is basically a XML file. Now to create the TLD file in Tomcat, you can use create hello.tld file. It is an example of TLD file. Basically it is an XML file. So it is a tag lib, end of the tag lib, then define version 1.0, 2.0, and the name of this tag library is hello example. Then give the name of the tag that we are going to use. The name of the tag is hello. We already discussed we are going to define a tag hello. Then name of the tag class, that is tag handler. When we call this hello, so what will be the tag handler? So tag handler is hello tag. Then this hello tag is empty tag. There is no body for this tag. Then we are putting body content equal to empty. So this is we are defining the tag library. We have defined the tag handler. We have completed two steps. Third step is to use the above defined custom tag hello in our JSP program. So to use this custom tag library that we already defined, name of the custom tag library is hello.tld. Now to use in our JSP page, we are using prefix equal to ex. Okay. Now a sample custom tag is the title we have mentioned. Now we have to use this hello tag. We have to use the ex. Ex is the prefix. So this is the prefix. So ex is the prefix. You can say it is the prefix. We have already defined our tag library hello.tld. So you have to use this prefix here and name of the tag hello. So when you run this program, this hello tag is replaced by the message that we have already given. The message is hello AKGC students. So in our current program, when we are using this hello tag, it is automatically will map to the message that we already defined in the tag handler. So output will be hello AKGC student when you run this JSP program. So what we learn, there are two main steps. One is we have to define the tag handler for a corresponding tag that we are going to define, and second is we have to define the tag library that is called TLD file, in which you will specify name of the tag handler and other information which is required for running of the tag. Okay. Next, I am going to discuss about define a tag which consists of the body part. Earlier we defined a tag empty tag. Here we are going to define a tag which have a body part, that is starting of the tag, ending of the tag, and some message is written between this tag which is called a body of the tag. Now first of all we have to define a tag handler. So there is some change. Change is we have to define a variable SW of type string writer that will receive the body content of the tag. Now to receive the body content of the tag, we have to use get JSP body dot invoke SW string writer that we have already created. Then we use JSP writer out object. This is the out object, and we are using get JSP context dot get out, and we are displaying the message to the client browser. So we are using out.println SW to string, formatting the message into the string format. So whenever we are using the body content of a tag, we have to define a message, a variable of type string writer, then use the out object of JSP writer and display the value at the client browser. So here the output resulting from the invocation is first captured into string writer before being written to the JSP writer associated with the tag. We need to change the TLD file as follows. So there is some change in the TLD file. So TLD file is, we have tag library, we have defined name of tag hello, and name of tag handler is hello tag, and the body content should be scriptless. Earlier we have written empty. This time in the hello tag we have some or you can say body content, so we have written it scriptless. The scriptless body accepts only static text, EL expression and custom tag. No scripting elements are allowed. So Now we will use this tld file hello.tld, and we can see prefix is ex, and we have defined a tag hello, and some body content is given. The content of body is this is message body. So when we run this program, this will display this message body. So up to this level we have defined two type of tags. One tag which consists of empty, which is empty. Second tag which consists of body part. Next we can define the tag with attributes. So we can define custom tag attributes also. You can use various attributes along with your custom tags. To accept an attribute value, a custom tag class needs to implement setter method identical to Java Beans setter methods. Now this is the tag handler. Now we have defined an attribute for the tag. So we have defined a name of the attribute is message of type string. It is private. Then we are using the set message to setting the value of the attribute in the variable message. Then we define SW. SW is used for the body content of the tag, and we are using out object to display the value, which is of JSP writer. So it will display the message. This is the message, basically is the attribute name. So it will display the message out.println message. So if there is a no attribute message equal to null, so it will display the body part also. So get JSP body.invoke, it will take the body content of the tag and store in the SW, then it will display the value of SW. Okay. So it will display the value of SW with this way. So you can in this tag handler, if we given the value in attribute message, then it will display that message. Otherwise, it will display the content of the body. Now attribute name is message, so the setter method is set message. Let us now add this. Now we are going to add this attribute. Now we have to define the tag library. So tag library we have hello, name of the tag handler is hello tag. Now body content is scriptless, meaning the tag hello consists of an body part also. Then we have an attribute. So define the attribute with the help of the attribute tag, and name of this attribute is message. Now we will use this tag library. So we will use this tag library with the hello.tld file. Then prefix is ex. Then we are using ex hello message. This is CSC to AKGC. This is one of the message that is going to display. So here we can say ex hello. Hello is the name of the tag, and this message is basically is the attribute name, and the value of this attribute is this is CSC to AKGC. Now when we run this program, it will display this is CSC to AKGC. So we already defined the tag handler for this one. This is the tag handler. So we have the attribute name message. So it will take the if statement, message is not equal to null, and will display the message with the help of out.println. So therefore the output will be this is CSC to AKGC, output of this tag hello, which is already defined the attribute message. Now you can define attributes with other value also. So attribute name is attribute, and you can define some other attribute like type. You can define the type of attribute like java.util.date, and you can define the fragment equal to false. If you want to define more than one attribute, so we have to give different sets also, and we can define other parameter also, whether the attribute is required or not. So if it is required, not required, then you can use the false. Type is java.util.boolean, and fragment equal to false. Then second attribute name true, and required is true, and java.util.date, it is the type. So we can understand with the help of attribute tag, we can define the attribute of a tag. So up to this level, I discussed error handling in JSP. In case of error handling, we are using is error attribute to define the in which we have the exception object, and then we discuss the session object. So session object is used to take the data from one page to the other page. Then we have defined custom tag library. With the help of custom tag library, we can define our own tags, and in the we must have a tag handler, and then we define a TLD file. In the TLD file, we will mention our tag name, and we use this tag name in our JSP file to get the output. Thank you very much.